Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, August 22nd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts as a trader, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple of quick clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, AMC, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the videos from last week. But if you did, hopefully remember me talking about that line right there as a support. And as long as the price stayed above there, then that's a good sign. The bulls are in control. And you can see that during the opening 30 minutes of the day, price came down, broke through that trend line, and you can see that just absolutely opened up the floodgates. And now the price has gone lower than even where it was after the gap down from back on the 14th. So needless to say, a train wreck of a day, not because of how red it was, just because from a technical point of view, trend line smashed, price down below those lows right there. So just any way you look at it, not a beneficial day, in the least. And that's just one of those things where, you sometimes back to the drawing board, and that's where this one is, with the newest level of support, resistance now being right there at $3.17. This was the former low right there, and that's just based on a rule in charting, which states when the previous level of support is broken and closed below, it tends to act as resistance, and that's exactly what's happened here. Price broke down below, and you can see now the price is just stuck down below that red line. So 317 going to be that newest area of resistance if the price does try to bounce. In terms of levels of support, nothing complicated at all. Literally just a question of where did the bleeding finally stop today? And I'll zoom back in here now so you can kind of see the action. But you can see the bleeding finally stopped right there at $3.05 during that candle right there, and then started to go sideways. So yeah, any way you look at it, just a train wreck of a day. Next one, NKLA, and overall, another rough day here, and with the rough day came the formation of a bearish pattern here, so let's just get this pattern drawn into play. We have that portion of the pattern, which, to be fair, it is an uptrend, so you got to give credit where credit's due. The problem is, well, what was going on before this, little uptrend here? Well, you had this big downwards move there, and within that, you have this area of resistance right there. Keep that red, and then just to keep it the same color, we'll have it be one color. So I think to have it be this, I think I meant to make it clearer. Let's make it one color. So we have our support. And it's only Monday. That's scary. That's scary. It's only Monday, and I can't even speak right at this point. But we have our support. We have a resistance. And then I was mentioning earlier, we had this downwards move here. So in all actuality, NKLA is now in a bear pennant pattern. Now, let me be very clear. Just because something's in a bearish pattern does not mean that, for sure, guaranteed, the price is headed to the downside. My point here is that, yeah, there is this uptrend line here, but I'd be a little skeptical of it because within the bigger picture of things, all it's done is created this bear pennant pattern, but we'll see how time continues to play out on Tuesday. Next one here, NVOS for you penny stock players out there, and overall a nice little pattern here. So instead of a bear pennant, in this situation, we actually have a bull pennant. Now, just as I explained, something being a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go downwards. Same thing here. Just because this is in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go up. But in order for this to be a little easier to see, let's keep it one color. So resistance, support, big move up right there. And then for you golfers out there, we'll make it a little bit more visual. Put our golf hole down there. So here we have the bull pennant pattern. So sure, it's pulled back here a little bit, but is it unreasonable to think that the price could turn itself around, get the nice breakout right there, and then build more momentum? Of course, not guaranteed, but that is certainly a plausible outcome. Next one here, NIO, and I'm not going to pat myself on the back here, but to pat charts on the back, this will mean a bit more to those of you that watch the video from Friday, but I put that trend line in play and said watch it from a support standpoint and check it out. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, price came down there and bounced beautifully off of that line. Again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm patting charts on the back. So, our chart's a perfect tool. They're not, but there's certainly something worth learning more about, and we have a great example of that right there. So overall, good solid day today. Got the bounce off that level. Still have a lot more work to be done. The first bit of quote-unquote work that needs to be done is now getting up above and staying above that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. I say staying above because you can see right here, the price did for a time go up above that level, but could not stay above it and then dropped right back below it. But yeah, so that'll be, and the good news is the price is well within striking distance right there. So not unreasonable to think that the price could, make a battle attempt up there, get above it, and then stay above it. If the price does roll back over, then the ideal level of support that you would want to see hold is right here at that level of $10.85. But if that level does not quite hold up, then you do still have this overall trend line right there. The problem with that trend line from the bullish standpoint is it does have a downwards angle to it. So the price could theoretically be staying above this trend line, but that still means the price is going downwards because it could still potentially put in lower low after lower low. But overall, like I said, from a trading standpoint, if it cracks and then comes all the way down there, do you get another bounce? That's a very valid question to be asking, especially after the track record that's been established right there and also right there. Next one, SXTC, and this is a very nice looking pattern here. Got the pullback, but within the pullback, seems to be a good solid area of support that is formed right there at, let's make sure we have it, 26 cents there. So we had 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3, 4, 5 bounces off that level of 26. Does that mean that the price will continue to bounce off 26? Again, of course not. There are no guarantees. But is it plausible? Is it rational for you to think that it could potentially continue to bounce off 26 cents? Absolutely. It's done it 5 times before. So doesn't mean that it'll happen a 6th time, but nobody could accuse you, like I said, of some sort of random thought that 26 cents could produce a bounce. And then as far as resistance levels, and you got to think a lot of people are watching this dynamic right here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. But this dynamic right here, area of resistance. So price can curl back upwards, get through that level. Does that break create that much more upside buying pressure because people are just buying because, hey, I'm a breakout player. Oh, look, it's breaking that trend line. Oh, I'm supposed to buy. That is certainly a valid thought process to have. But all in all, got the nice move up. Now it's just going sideways. So in many ways, it's just a question of, is the pullback finally over? Is this sideways action the leading indicator to a bigger move to the upside? We'll see how the next couple of days play out. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online web class that I'm offering here in a few days later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. Or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. Very, very good day today. I think it was AMC that said it was a very bad day, not because the price was down, but just because of all the technical levels. Same thing is here for true as for Tesla. A very good day, not necessarily because it was a big green day, but because of all the lines that were broken. So we got the break of that resistance trend line, got the break above the purple line there, the 50-period moving average, got the break of that resistance trend line. So this thing was just pushing through resistance trend lines all over the place today. So that is why I would call it more so a good day compared to just the fact that it was a green day. But overall, we'll zoom in here and take a closer look at things as we move forward. But like I said, good solid day, closing up near these highs. So, creates a good scenario headed into Tuesday too. So as far as areas of resistance, first key level that I'm very curious about, right up around the 231 mark. Going back here, you can see that there's a bit of a track record back here. But more specifically, just late afternoon today, you can see the price can never really build any sort of momentum after it get up around that 231 mark. So keep a close eye on that. But more importantly, at least in my opinion, are the levels of support, meaning you want to start to see this thing making progress forward. You don't want to see this thing all of a sudden go right back to where it was down in this area, because not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and then go back to where they started, not exactly a sign of genuine power. So that's really the biggest avoidance that I think exists or matters the most moving forward, is just showing that it can build a higher base. So where would a higher base be? I think staying above that purple line right there would be great. Because think about it, if the price were to come down here to that purple line, bounce around and then head back up, what would you still have from the bigger picture point of view? Well, you'd have a set of lows there. You'd have these lows down there, and if you envision those as stair-steps, well, you still got yourself stair-steps progressing in the upwards direction, and that's what you want. You want to see that progress being made. So the quote-unquote progress point, in my opinion, is all about that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. But all in all, very, very solid day. And I should note that as I speak, you can see here, market's still open for 7 more minutes. So the price is actually doing battle, trying to push up through that red line right there. So good action here. So who knows, maybe by the time you check on this, it'll be well above this 231 mark. But yeah, as of now, slightly pushing above it. Next one, APE, the brother stock of AMC, and a rough day today as it made a big move up, then came here, and then just really, flushed to the downside. So this does have a lot of perspective that goes into it because it depends on what your strategy going into it was. Meaning if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, maybe you bought the dip right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then from that standpoint, the chart looks really, really bad because it kept on pulling down or pulling back. But from the grand scheme of things, the price does still have the opportunity to chip away and build a higher base. And that is why this level right here is very important down at the $2 mark. And again, I'm not saying this will occur, but just for example's sake, let's say the price drops down here and then behaves like that and then starts to curl back upwards. Emphasis here on big picture. From a big picture standpoint, what do you have? Well, you would have a set of lows right there. You'd have lows right there. You'd have these lows down there. And if you envision each one of those as stair-steps, what do you have? Again, emphasis on big picture. Well, you'd still have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction, and that's the name of the game. Again, I fully realize that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you don't care about these stair-steps. So that's why I'm trying to make the distinction between more of a bigger picture point versus just a very narrow kind of day trading standpoint. So like I said, is this a good or bad looking chart? Really just depends on what your strategy going into it was. Next one here, AMD, very, very nice second day of the bounce. You can see on Friday, this actually all began with the price coming down here and then had a very good Friday. And then in some sense, it's the case of deja vu where it just kept grinding and grinding higher and higher, which now brings about a very interesting dynamic. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level. And this will mean slightly more to those of you that watch Friday's video. But if you did, hopefully remember me talking about that red line resistance right there, which has been a problem for sure before. And then, surprise, surprise, look right where the price got rejected at that red line. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and that way you'll know exactly where that red line is coming from. But overall, point here being is that 108, basically, we'll call it 108.60. 108.60 is going to be a very important level of resistance here moving forward. And then if the price can push through there, things start to, open back up again. And really, not that the price will shoot straight up to that level, but the next overarching level of resistance to watch very closely would be that pink line, the 200 period moving average, which you can see back here, has already acted as resistance once. But one hurdle at a time. Let's see if it can first clear the 108.60 hurdle. As far as levels of support, like Tesla, you want to start to see progress, which leads into, okay, well, how are you defining progress? In other words, what's the progress point? And that's where I think, in my opinion, it, makes sense to just default to that 50 period moving average. So as long as the price is above that 50 period moving average, then this bounce continues to make progress, which is what bullish movement is all about. Next one, TTOO. And overall, tricky chart to talk about because we've already talked about it because, yes, the price from the highs, it did indeed pull back today. There's no doubt about it. There was this downwards channel that formed. So if you were some sort of day trader and you bought up there, then yes, your plan was to buy and sell within 12 minutes. The chart looks really bad. But if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, then part of that is going to say, well, yes, I do acknowledge that from the bigger picture, there was this pullback today. However, you would also ask yourself, well, what was happening before this downwards channel? To which you would answer, well, there was this big move like that, which has now given me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. So it's all about perspective. Maybe you don't care about the bull flag, but if you care about the bigger picture, then yeah, you got a bull flag pattern, and that's always a good pattern that you want to see. So like I said, all a matter of what your strategy going in was. But if you like bull flag patterns, you like penny stocks, definitely keep an eye on TTOO. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. Biggest difference is it just allows you access at a much lower price point, which makes it a very popular ETF. And NASDAQ had a good day today. So did this one after the early morning pullback. It just went into total grind mode. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles in a row, just green. So 8 30-minute sessions in a row that were green. So very, very solid day. Broke above this area at 37.60, broke above the purple line there, the 50 period moving average. So did a lot of good things, technically speaking. And from that angle, the first update moving forward is just based on that rule. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So preferably speaking now, 37.60, you want to see act as support. In terms of levels of resistance, next key level to watch very closely going to be right there at the $39 mark, which was basically former area of support that then went into acting as resistance both there and there. But overall, very healthy day. Nice solid grind. Oh, I jinxed it. Talked about all those green candles and now a red one is forming here. But overall, very healthy afternoon. And if it does pull back, then preferably stay above 37.60, but definitely a bullish day here for the NASDAQ. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to go get signed up for that class. It'll be later this week, Thursday, August 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, please do 2 things for me. If you enjoy these, it helps out the channel, motivates me to do more content as long as I know people are enjoying it. But hit that like button, leave a comment below, even if you say hi. Give me a smiley face. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But hitting the like button and leaving a comment, help out the channel. They help out these videos. And as long as you know that you're enjoying and helping out, then, like I said, I'll continue to want to put out more content. So like I said, I thank you in advance for doing that. If you enjoy these, that little bit of feedback truly does go a long way. So hit the like button, leave a comment below, get signed up for that free event, and I'll see you hopefully later on in the week. Take care.